Today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making a decadent Oreo cheesecake.
Today on my channel, we're making a not so decadent Oreo cheesecake.
First off, we're gonna make the crust, so grab 26 Oreos.
I forgot to check how many Oreos were inside a pack when I bought it. So apparently this pack that we have has only 20 Oreos.
And pop them into your food processor.
We're going to pop that into our food processor. If you have a Ziploc bag, that can also work too.
Add half a cup of melted butter.
Add what you think is about half a cup of melted butter and slowly strain that in while you pulse your blender. Sorry, food processor.
It's a wet sandy mixture and it does hold together into clumps.
If you're like me and you like to eat wet sand, this should feel something like that.
Now, dump your mixture into your 8 or 9 inch springform pan.
I've always heard that inches don't matter. So right here we are using an 8-inch pan.
Grab a flat bottomed glass and start tamping it down.
Grab a flat bottomed glass, preferably one that is clean, and begin to tamp down your crust. This is going to take a long while, so I'm just going to speed it up for you. Don't forget to push the crust along the walls of the container.
My crust is ready to go into the oven.
Our crust looks darker. I guess it's also ready to go into the oven. I wonder what we're going to be doing in the meantime.
In the meantime, we're gonna make our filling. We need 24 Oreos.
Just like the last batch, I forgot to check and we only have 20 Oreos. We're going to split those in half.
12 are gonna be roughly chopped.
Roughly chop 10 of them. You really want to leave big chunks in between the Oreos because I guess that adds to the appeal of the cheesecake.
12 are gonna be finely
And
chopped.
the remaining 10 are going to be finely chopped. You really want that to just decorate and create layers inside your cheesecake. So finely chop them.
Now it's time to set these Oreos aside and grab the mixer.
Now we're going to set the Oreos aside and grab a giant bowl with our hand mixer and a whisk attachment.
Into the bowl of my stand mixer, I'm adding 3 8-ounce packages of room temperature cream cheese.
Into our giant bowl, we're going to add 3 blocks of cream cheese that have been in my room overnight.
I'm also adding half a teaspoon of salt for contrast.
We are adding what I hope is half a teaspoon of salt.
1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar.
Next goes in 1 cup of granulated sugar. Honestly, add a little more.
Just before I pop this onto medium speed, I'm gonna measure out 3 tablespoons of flour into a sifter.
Just before we start whisking this, we need to add in 3 tablespoons of flour. After some calculation, I realized that 3 tablespoons is 42.52 grams. Sift that into your mixture. You really want to get all the clumps out of the flour. The cream cheese honestly was not mixing. I tried using the whisk and it didn't work. Later I switched to a spoon and that didn't work. So I eventually settled on using an electric mixer. I guess the machines won today.
You want this mixture to be creamy and homogeneous.
Ours is not so creamy or homogeneous, but I was always told that difference is a good thing.
And I've measured out half a cup of sour cream.
Now we are going to measure out half of a full cup of sour cream. As I said before, you have to guesstimate it.
I'm also adding in 1 tablespoon of vanilla.
I'm also going to add in what I feel like is 1 tablespoon of vanilla and a little bit more. And then we're going to whisk this mixture together and get it all combined.
We're gonna crack 3 eggs into a bowl.
Next, we're going to crack 3 eggs into a bowl.
Back onto medium-low speed, and now I'm gonna add the eggs in one at a time.
While mixing your mixture together, add in the eggs one at a time. For me, I added 1 first and then the remaining 2 followed later. I don't think it makes a difference.
While that's mixing, I'm gonna crack 1 egg into that bowl and grab the yolk.
I already separated this yolk from an egg earlier on, so now we're just going to add it into our mixture.
By the way, when you're making a cheesecake, never take these lumps off the top of your spatula or whisk. Grab your crushed Oreos. Now we're gonna fold these until it's just like almost incorporated.
I'm not sure if I grabbed the right bowl of Oreos. You guys tell me. But now we're going to fold that into our butter until it's well incorporated.
Right now we want to create some layers.
I think we've already gotten a bit off track. So let me just take it from here. You want to add a layer of your filling, swirl it around, add in a layer of your Oreos and then put more filling over it.
First we have to bake it, so grab a rimmed baking sheet or roasting pan, place your cheesecake on top of that.
Grab a burnt baking sheet and put your cheesecake on top of it.
Now we're gonna pop this into the oven at 350 for 10 minutes, then reduce to 300 and bake an additional 40 to 50 minutes.
Wow, those are a lot of instructions, but let's just put this in the oven and hope it turns out right.
Your cheesecake shouldn't crack. But if you're paranoid like I am, you can grab a cake pan or a casserole dish and fill it with an inch of hot water and put that on the bottom shelf of your oven.
I was paranoid just like him, so I filled the baking tray with water and I put it on the bottom shelf of my oven. So now once your cheesecake is done, you want to chop up some of your chocolates, because we're going to be drizzling a chocolate ganache over this. Once your chocolate is chopped, you want to put it into a bowl and mix in a little bit of heavy cream. Now there are two ways you can melt this chocolate, but I chose the easiest one, so I just put it over a pot of boiling water and let it melt. Once that is done, remove the casing from your cheesecake and drizzle your chocolate sauce all over it. You really want to spread that around well, because it's going to fill into all the cracks that were previously there in the cheesecake and make the top look really smooth. Cutting into it, the texture seems really soft and fluffy. I think we did a good job, team.
Nice job, team.
As the song says, there is a lot of sugar in it, but I mean, it's a treat, so why not? This was a great recipe, 10 over 10. I'll definitely make it again. Anyways, I'm leaving. Bye.